Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Wild Digest. I am Scott, and I'm here with just a brief little video discussing a particular book that I picked up in my last big haul video, and that is Pro. If you've seen the title sequence, you know I'm going to be talking about this oddity. A little bit of background about the book in particular. I had mentioned in the book haul that I grabbed this because I had seen it get discussed in another video or another couple of videos with the possibility of someone saying they wanted to do a buddy read or a read along. So I thought, well, let me grab it because it's obviously on somebody's radar, and maybe I can read it along with them and participate in some kind of a discussion. Nobody chimed in. In fact, the only person who actually mentioned it, well, I think maybe more, yeah, I think Jake and Brian both mentioned it, but Brian said he didn't think he had it, and Jake commented about the illustrations inside and how wacky they are. They are. So, but then it was kind of like radio silence. So anyway, I just went ahead and I read the damn thing. This is a pretty unpleasant book. I'm not going to beat around the bush there. That is that is to say that there are no pleasant characters in this book at all. The protagonist, is a guy named Harb Mallard, and he is very much an antagonist. In fact, it's his job to be an antagonist in some ways. He's elevating some people, but in the process causing all sorts of trouble. But I'll start from the beginning. Pro is set in the future. We don't exactly know when. And it's set on a planet just known by a stellar designation of some kind, and it's 49381D. Now, the funny thing about that is I punched it into the computer, and 49381D comes up as a hex code for sort of an earthy brown color, which is appropriate for the book. I think it's a total coincidence, obviously, but still a neat little thing all the same. One of the only neat little things about this book. So, okay, so the book opens introducing us to a character named Bill Cajon. Not Cajones, Cajon, Cohone. And Bill is running what effectively appears to be a plantation, which is populated by a number of natives. And they are tilling the soil and working the fields and growing grain and other crops. From what we can tell, this guy has a good relationship with the natives, and he's not beating them. He doesn't seem to be doing anything that would upset them. And then this little shuttle drops, and out comes our protagonist, Harb Mallard. Now, Harb has been sent to this planet by some space organization to effectively nudge the natives along in their development. And the way he's going to do this, and we don't really know this at first, but the way he's going to do this is he's going to motivate them, or at least one group of them, to become more and more powerful. And they're going to do this through conquest and combat and bloodshed. So he talks to Cajon, essentially tells him what the plan is. Cajon doesn't seem to really love the plan and warns him it's probably going to backfire. And Mallard goes off. And Mallard goes off equipped with some technology that he's really not supposed to have with him on this planet, or at least it seems to be expressed as being forbidden. And he goes off and he meets up with King Rajan, Rajn, and his kingdom, and inserts himself as an outlander. And they are fully aware of the fact that there are outlanders on the planet from time to time. And he inserts himself and says, hey, listen, I have some great ideas for you. I can help you conquer this other village. And they listen to him, and off they go in their canoes or canots or whatever they're called, to another village, and they wipe out that village completely unprovoked, just slaughter all the people there, take some as slaves, do even greater harm to some of the other people there. And Rajan and his cohorts find it stimulating, and it excites them, and they want to do it again. So they go to a larger settlement, which is located at the fork in a river. And this one is a little bit more secure and it's more difficult to enter. And they come up with a plan, or at least Harb helps them come up with a plan. And they infiltrate that and they kill all the people and they take slaves and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this keeps going. And at one point, Harb is like, well, maybe we have enough. Your boats are full of pillaged treasure. Why don't we take everything back? And you can take all these captured people with you, and you can sacrifice them to your gods. And Rajan, of course, says, no, we want to do more. We'll get better treasure. We can dump out the crappy treasure, and we'll get better treasure for the next place. So off they go. And they learn of these islands that are supposed to be occupied and supposed to have much better treasure and more difficult but challenging opponents. And when they get to the islands, they are intercepted by a navy of these 3 giant ships who wipe them out. They terrible losses, and the fight goes poorly. And the next thing you know, they're running with their tails tucked between their legs back home. A moment of silence. So Harb all the way along has been giving them advice on how to better attack and giving them tactics and ideas. But he's also joyfully running right into the fray and hacking people down and chopping off heads and having a blast. He's loving doing this awful, awful stuff to these people who've done nothing to merit this kind of carnage. So there's no hero here, and you follow this guy all the way along as he's manipulating these primitive peoples, and I don't know what you're supposed to think. It's like, why am I reading this story? What am I getting out of this other than seeing how awful Harb is and what a terrible person he is? And you can't help but, on page by page like 15, 20 to think, I hope this guy gets his comeuppance, because what he's doing is awful. And he kind of doesn't in the end. In fact, and I'm not going to spoil it at all, but the ending kind of just happens, and there's no real punishment. In fact, the one who is punished the most is somebody who was manipulated, and I'm not going to say who that was. This wasn't a good book. I did not care for this one at all. This is Gordon Dickson's Pro. I'll show you on the cover here. This is that's Harb back there. This guy is meant to be Bill in the foreground. This orangutan-looking dude over here is one of the natives. That's the little probe on the side there where Harb comes down. If you look at the illustrations inside, and I'm going to just show you a couple of them because they are ridiculous, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Jake had pointed out how silly they were. They really are. I mean, here's a big battle on that big Navy ship I told you about, which here doesn't look to be that intense. But you can see that the natives are like squat, weird-looking guys. Strange-looking guys. I'm passing judgment. That's horrible of me. What a colonizer. Anyway, here's another thing that happens throughout the book for no reason whatsoever. Harb sleeps all the time. It's like he's got, oh God, what is it? Wow, I'm spacing on the word. Whatever it is that makes people sleep all the time. But there's like 6, 7, 8 different scenes where Harb is like finding a place to settle down and have a nap. What a weirdo. Anyway, that's it. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. This book was not great. I've read other Dickson. I've enjoyed other Dickson, but this is definitely not one for me to celebrate. This one may go away. I don't know. I've read it. I've done due diligence. I read the dang thing, and I did not enjoy it at all. And now you have to suffer because now you have the review in your head. Whether you want to read it or not, that's entirely up to you. But I would not recommend it. If I had to give it a star rating, I would probably give it 1 out of 5, and the 1 would just be for the competence of writing and the fact that it was fairly brief. Dickson's writing it's easy to read, it's fast paced, but the story is just miserable. I didn't enjoy myself reading that book at all. There's not even anything funny in it. There could have been moments of levity with certain things. No, you don't get any of that. And you also don't get anybody really standing up to what Harb is doing. Nobody. Everyone is just like, cool, let's go kill more people. So, yeah. Pro gets a slightly angled thumbs down. Like I said, 1 star out of 5. And, yeah, I read it, so you don't have to. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share this with your friends who might be thinking of reading Pro, and tell them, don't do it.